Hi, I'm Brent Johnson, and we're coming to you again from Southern Florida. We're in Palmetto Bay. We're in Trinity Chapel here on the campus of Palmer Trinity School. Listen to Episcopal High School down here. This is Louis Cuza again, and he's jumped in to help volunteer to show off this organ. Now, what's your connection here to this school and this organ?
None.
None. See, so we're both learning this organ for the first time, but you were invited to come show it off because you did such a great job.
Thank you.
And this is a Casavant organ from 2024, so this is a brand new instrument just installed in this relatively new chapel. Now, if you saw the video with Louis at Belen Chapel at the preparatory school, that was the same architect as this fantastic building. So both new school organs and new chapels. We're having a sense of a theme here, but
that's right.
I'm enjoying it.
That's a good thing.
There's a link up there to that video if you missed it, as well as Chance, you helped demonstrate at another school, Florida International University. So we're just making the rounds of academic institutions. But let's talk about this organ now. This is 2 manuals, and do you know how many ranks we have? I didn't count, so
27.
27. Look at that. We're prepared with something. Yeah. And so the first thing that jumps out at me about this organ is the arrangement of the stops, because we have great swell and pedal, and what I would always put the great stops are over there, and the swell stops are in the middle, so it's a little backwards. Is that at all confusing to you?
Very.
Okay, good. It's not just me. I mean, everything's in the normal order. It's just that the order of the divisions is a little strange, but we have, and the stops are divided between 2 sides here on either side. So let's just start wherever you want to start. What have you found in this organ so far that's worth talking about?
Well, let's start with the swell.
Okay.
Let's start with the violin diapason. It is lovely.
I could listen to that all day. It's just a beautiful, stringy diapason color. Not forced at all, but just nice and clear.
Moving on, so in contrast, the viol da gamba. With its celeste.
Nice. Okay.
Or the chimney flute, the 8-foot chimney flute.
Okay.
All right.
A little colorful flute there.
Nice little colorful flute. 4-foot flute, spire flute.
We have a little bit of acoustic in the room that's a little deader than I think we might want it to be, but I can hear it sort of coming back because we're right here. These pipes are just a few feet from us, and it's a little in your face. They're lovely colors. They're not forced in any way, but I'm wondering what it actually sounds like down there. So we'll have to check the tape later and see how much of this is.
Or just take the console downstairs.
Yeah.
Put it in the elevator. All right, let's do 8/4. Principal 8/4. Very warm. 2-foot flautino. So I guess.
Let's hear the 8 and 2 together.
8, no, gap. Okay, let's do the gap. mutations. We do a little chord name on the swell. Flute 8/4/2, 2 2/3, 1 3/5.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you need.
Yes. Full principal chorus. Right.
Very nice. I'm curious about the 8-foot stops because they were all very colorful and unique in their own way. If just how you can blend the board and the violin diapason and the chimney flute and the viol. I mean, what sort of sound do we get first of all with all of them? Stringy diapason sound. What happens if we take off the chimney flute and just have our diapason and string? Thinner sound? Let's do the other two, the chimney flute and the violin diapason. Or actually, no, the viol and chimney flute to see how.
They're very similar.
They are. They're all very warm. Nothing's particularly sizzling or bright, but you've got some variation that you can do to how clear that 8-foot sound is. All right. So that's all the flues. We have some reeds here in the swell.
We do. We have an oboe.
Okay. Yeah.
Mix that.
How's that sound? Gives it more of an oboe horn sort of sound. Very nice. Okay.
The trumpet, 8-foot trumpet.
Yeah. Okay.
And the 16-foot basson.
Very nice. Kind of a range of dark to bright there between those three stops, so you can
contrast.
Mix them around as you need to get whatever sound you want. Okay, that's everything in the swell then. Bring me over here to the grate.
Over to the grate.
Back to the middle to the grate.
8-foot principal.
The proximity to where it is, but that's so much. It's brighter, but it's not necessarily louder or bigger. Just a surprisingly brighter sound than the swell, which is a violin diapason. I would expect it to be. But compare again.
Yeah, I want to compare.
Just a little more edge and presence in that, which is only surprising, just because I would expect the violin to be a little. But they're both lovely. So,
yeah. All
right.
The 8-foot bourdon. Notice what happened to me there. I was expecting to play it on the swell.
Yes, very nice. And then our chimney flute is available from the swell on the grate, so you have two options there, which, as you were demonstrating earlier, is nice when you need a softer accompaniment flute.
That with the under expression.
Yeah. So, all right.
All right. So we have the 4-foot octave.
Okay. Let's hear that with the principal, just to compare. Oh, very nice.
All right. There there is a 4-foot harmonic flute.
Okay.
That's a beautiful sound.
It's lovely, yes.
If I don't know how it would go with the Bourdon if I wanted a flute, 2 flutes, 8 and 4.
It works, but I'm hearing so much more that
The harmonic
flute.
Yeah, something that I did earlier was to sub-couple it and then turn the unison off, so I'm just playing it on an 8-foot.
Okay. As long as you don't go below tenor C, you've got a lovely 8-foot flute there.
Yeah, you got to get a little solo flute there.
Wonderful.
Super octave.
Very nice.
With a mixture.
I guess not totally surprised. It's a 1 1/3 mixture, so we're missing the Nazard in that chorus, and that mixture kind of jumps up a little bit. It's a little brighter than I was expecting, but it works. It blends with the chorus. It just gives us much more brightness than I was expecting, given how well the principal chorus crept up. So that's an interesting choice.
Yes. All right, then we have the 8-foot trumpet. See how that sounds with the.
Really sits on top of the chorus there.
It does, yes.
Gives us our fire and our power. So okay, but you can couple the swell trumpet down if you want something that's a little less overpowering.
Much,
Very nice.
yeah, very
I'm
nice.
even wondering if you coupled the bassoon up an octave, so the 16-foot bassoon and swell to grade 4, what we get.
Do it.
Just adds a hint of color, almost not.
Almost like it's not.
almost not there, but just adds a
yeah.
little bit. So that's an interesting thing. Fun things to play with when you've got
Yes.
couplers and super couplers. Okay.
Get a little recipe for.
Yeah.
Hopefully not for disaster.
That's everything on our great and swell. Then we have some pedal stops. Tell me what we have over here.
All right, so let's start with the 16-foot subas. Nice. Just what you need when you're playing something. When you need just something simple accompaniment.
Sufficient. That's your main 16-foot.
And it works very well. Something else that you could use if you're doing something very light is the borrowed 60-foot Bourdon from the swell.
So that can be closed down if necessary.
It can.
To get it even softer. Lovely.
Now we have the 8-foot octave bass. That's very nice.
That's nice, big round sound.
Very
there.
nice, yes.
What does that sound like on top of the sub bass? Yeah, big clear pedal line there. Okay.
Very nice. 8-foot stop flute.
Want something a little more subtle for your 8-foot? Very good.
4-foot octave.
Okay.
And then the reed, a 16-foot trombone.
Yeah, that's quite a sound.
It is. It's right there, too. So.
It's probably a little overwhelming to us compared to what's coming out of the room, but it's still a nice, clear, big trombone there. I like it a lot. Okay.
And then we have a resultant, which is nice. For a small instrument, it's nice to have that for those, Oh, wow. It's pretty strong.
That's coming all out I'm guessing that's the sub bass with itself. Is it quint, maybe?
Yeah, it's a quint, but
I mean, is it using itself? Or is it...
that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's using the
swell board?
The swell board.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, if we play the...
So if I,
Because the swell board's over here, right? Yeah, you're right. Okay. Had to go over there and check. It's just up here, it's all coming from everywhere,
Yeah.
bouncing around in this
it's hard to tell.
very large choir gallery we're
Yes,
in.
it
Actually,
is.
there's a little classroom behind us,
Yes.
essentially, that opens into the chapel. So there's a lot of space for the sound to float around up here before it gets out to the church. So, well, that's it. That's the organ right there. So this is a lovely little
chapel organ, yeah.
chapel organ. It's exactly what you need. It's got one of everything and some lovely choruses. I'm just curious why the stop tabs are where they are. So maybe somebody from Casavant will comment and explain. It works just fine. So I guess part of the confusion also is that the grate is physically over there and the swell is physically over there. So it'd be nice if the stop tabs were actually on the right and left in the same way and they're reversed.
The reason we always have the swell stops but right next to the swells because you could be a company you need to add and you start building off of that if you need to. It's so comfortable to be right there versus here and boom, you need to be coming over to...
That's the kind of thing you don't think about until it's changed, and then you realize that intuition was always built in.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
I'm sure they're doing a great job with it here, and it's been fun to listen to it. So now you know what I'm going to ask you to do. I want to hear a little bit of it and see how it sounds. I'm going to go down there and listen.
Sounds good.
I'm going to start looking at this organ here on the grate side. We're just to the right of the console as the organist sits. We went through a little opening and we see some pedal pipes along the back. It's looking underneath the front. And those pedal pipes again, and then we have a ladder that takes us up to a walkboard between two main chests. From up there we can see we have our mixture. Our 2-foot and the flute harmonique is right here behind it. This is the bass end. Next is our Borden, and then our 4-foot octave and our 8-foot principal, the bases of which are tubed off in the facade. We have our relay and electronics over here along the side. There's the bottom of the 4-foot there where it goes harmonic. And back here we have our great trumpet. And continuing down to the pedal there behind it. And then we have a walkboard back here so we can access all of the 16-foot. Okay, we go back down, across the other side, and now we're walking into the swell chamber. We get into it the same way, although this one has a walkboard that folds down. Look underneath here at our tubed off offsets and our tremolo. The 16-foot Borden there in the back. We go up through the walkboard, and we're again between two main chests. Our reeds on the right, and flue work there on the left. Again, the bass on one end. Extending almost all the way up. There aren't any mitered pipes in here, but we do have some that have been lowered onto lower toe boards. We see our reeds at 16, 8-foot, and then the oboe, and then we do have one little set of shades that speaks towards the organist. Just one little opening, the rest of it is all out to the front. We have a plaque here for everybody that was involved in building this instrument. The blowers for this organ, and there are two, are located in boxes that are right behind the chambers out in the room. There's the one for the grate side, and then we walk past the console, and there's one there for the swell.
Well, Louis, thank you once again for stepping in and demonstrating this Casavant organ from 2024. It's unique to see. It's always great to see what these builders are doing today, because there's always something new. And this is perfectly. I would say there's nothing super outstanding about this organ, and there's everything wonderful about it. It's just exactly what this room needs in 2 manuals. So
it does the job. It does it well, but it's always it's a small instrument. We have to remember that it's meant to be a small instrument.
And yet you still found a way to find nice colors and bring a full crescendo out of it. So that's always fun to watch. And I hope you enjoyed watching it. And if you did, please give us a thumbs up down below. And remember to subscribe. We might still have some more videos coming out from Florida, but I think this is where we're going to part ways, Louis. So thank you for all your help in showing off.
Thank you so
these
much.
organs.
You're always welcome.
I can't wait to come back to Florida and bring our cameras and show off some more of what's going on down here. Until then, remember you can always find streaming classical organ music on our 3 stations, OrganLive.com, Positively Baroque, and the Organ Experience. Until next time, I'm Brent Johnson. Thank you for watching.